Hello, my name's Richard Gordon. Nice to see everyone. And I'd like to talk to you today about my community and how they handled a recent little crime wave that came by our area, unfortunately. But a little background first. In the late 1980s, 1990s, when I was 25, I was a bachelor and I moved into Baltimore City. It was my first time moving into the city, and so I moved into the Mount Vernon neighborhood. Some of you all may know where that is. It's just above the business district. Nowadays it's just fantastic. Tremendous restaurants, nightlife, arts, entertainment. And back then it was really eclectic, let's say. It was a real weird mix of people. I mean, you had the Walters Art Gallery, you had the Peabody Conservatory, you got the Washington Monument right there. But it was a real mix of people. Longtime residents, new people, streetwalkers, bums, but it's just really interesting. And I moved into 22 East Madison Street. Place cost me like $275 a month. It was a small studio apartment. I'll never forget it. And one of the things I'll never forget was I learned a lot about crime there. And learned how to carry yourself, be aware of your surroundings and things. But one of the funny things was when my friend and I were moving in, where my apartment was on the first floor. It was almost on the corner of Madison and St. Paul. And across the corner, catty corner, was the St. Paul Hotel. Now this was not some place you would want to stay. It's not there anymore. I think they may have not only rented out rooms by the hour, but by the day, but by the hour also. But primarily by the hour. But so while we were unloading our furniture, we looked over and there were like 3 or 4 police cars and an ambulance in front of it. So as we kept an eye on it as we were loading stuff into the apartment, and lo and behold, we walk out and there they are taking a body out on a stretcher, and you could just tell it was one of those bags. We were like, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. But I really enjoyed living there, and as a bachelor it was good, maybe not good for a family. But since 1999 I have lived on the Eastern Shore. I've had 2 homes. 3 years ago we moved down here, just down from Princess Anne. So, and in that time I have never had to lock my house. I don't have a key to my house right now. I know that sounds silly. I generally leave the keys in the truck. I know that's kind of foolish, but I've been very fortunate to live in wonderful areas where I didn't have to worry about crime. But this January, in our neighborhood here, which is ironically called Mount Vernon here, it's about 10 miles from the campus, a little west of the campus, there was a string of some break-ins, and that caused people a lot of concern and worry. And so I want to tell you today what my community did to inform and comfort each other, but also how they banded together with local law enforcement to try and prevent any further crime or apprehend those people that were perpetrating this. So what some of the leaders in the community did, and most of that was at the firehouse, they decided to have a meeting at the firehouse and call the residents together. And the fire chief kind of arranged this, and he had representatives from the Somerset County Sheriff's Office there to talk about what was going on. So I did not attend, but I heard from some of my friends at church and in the neighborhood of what went on, so I'm going to give you a report based on that. So the fire chief called the meeting to order, and they had a wonderful turnout. Some people told me there was almost like 100 people there. So there was a deputy from the sheriff's office, and he got up first and talked. And what he did was kind of clear the air as to what has actually been going on. He reported on the calls they have gotten on these break-ins, both in homes and in some outbuildings, some sheds, barns, things like that. So he laid that out so there wasn't any discrepancy. And then he ran through a pretty concise list of items that have been stolen, and they consisted of mostly things like laptops, tools, things they could grab and put into a vehicle and turn over for cash. No one has been hurt. In fact, no one has seen the people. They just know that they've been robbed. There hasn't been any face-to-face contact with them. So in this sense, he's trying to lay it out and make sure that everybody knows what's going on, so there's no undue fear. At that point, he could realize on that fear that he wanted to make the people feel calm. So maybe in this sense, his first part of his speech was him getting credibility or his ethos for showing that, and now he's working on the pathos side of his audience. And so the first thing he told the people after that was that they are very concerned at the sheriff's office. They're taking this very seriously. Everyone in the department has been briefed. They have stepped up patrols in the area. The sheriff has encouraged all his deputies to approach anyone they think is not, looking normal, seems odd in the area. He's really asked them to, stop, ask some questions, find out what's going on, things like that. He also said that he wanted to assure the people that the state police, who this area is also under their jurisdiction, as you know, many of the small towns, state police still carry on some of the day-to-day police work, and we'll see the state police around our area. So they've been informed about it. They know what's going on. They are going to be very proactive in trying to see what's going on. And they've even contacted the Princess Anne Police Department, whose jurisdiction doesn't come this far, but it's Mount Vernon Road right there in town, Princess Anne, and chances are maybe they might hear something in that regard. So he just wanted to try and calm the people's fears of what was going on. He also said that they would have increased patrols in the area, and they were making a point to try and keep a car around this area as much as they could. Then after he was finished kind of with his presentation, the fire chief asked if some people wanted to make comments or questions, and so he started off with questions. And the first question was kind of a follow-up, and that was, they're increasing, they asked the deputy, you're increasing the patrols, does that mean there would be a car here all the time in our area? And he said that probably not, they don't have enough deputies, but they were making a point to maybe go all the way down into our community as maybe a 4-mile stretch, and just always have somebody roughly as close as Princess Anne. So the follow-up question to that was, how soon do you think you could respond? And he thought, look, there was no promises, but he thought at least between 5 to 8 minutes. He thought there could always be a car here. It might be much sooner than that, whether it was state police or them, but they were going to try and do that. Another person asked a kind of an intelligent question, was what, in their opinion, the police departments or sheriff's department, what could they do as citizens to help or to stop, deter any other crime? And of course, he said lighting, both outside and inside the house, is terrific if they could keep that on at night. And even at night, if you could light a couple rooms, that wouldn't disturb your sleep, and that would help. During the day, if you're not at home, if you left a TV on, sometimes that deters people. They'll come to the house. It might not look like there are any cars there, but if they hear TV or see a TV, it'll put a little doubt in their mind, and maybe they'll move